There was a beggar who lived at a city railway station. He survived by begging from passengers traveling in the trains that stopped there. One day, while he was asking for alms, he noticed a tall man dressed in a suit. The beggar thought, "This man looks very rich. If I ask him, he might give me a good amount of money." So he approached the tall man and asked for alms. "Have you ever given anything to anyone?" The beggar replied, "Sir, I am just a beggar. I always ask from people. How could I ever have the means to give something to others?" The tall man said, "If you cannot give anything to anyone, you have no right to ask either. I am a businessman, and I believe only in give and take. If you have something to give me, only then can I give you something in return." After saying this, the tall man boarded the train and left. The beggar kept thinking about what the man had said. His words deeply touched the beggar's heart. He thought, "Maybe I don't receive much alms because I never give anything in return. But I'm a beggar, I have nothing to give. Still, for how long will I keep asking without offering anything?" After a lot of thought, he decided that from now on, whoever gives him alms, he will also give that person something in return. But then another question arose in his mind: "I am a beggar, what can I possibly give others in exchange for alms?" 2 days passed as he kept thinking about it, but he couldn't find an answer. On the third day, while sitting near the station, he noticed some flowers blooming on nearby plants. He thought, why not give flowers to people in return for alms? He liked the idea. So, he plucked some flowers and went to beg in the trains again. Now, whenever someone gave him alms, he gave them a few flowers in return. People were delighted and kept the flowers with them happily. From that day on, the beggar started plucking flowers every morning and distributed them to people in exchange for alms. Within a few days, he noticed that more and more people were giving him alms. Whenever he had flowers, people eagerly gave him money. But once the flowers were gone, no one gave him anything. This became his daily routine. One day, while begging, he saw that same tall man sitting in the train, the one who had inspired him to give flowers in return for alms. The beggar rushed to him and said, "Sir, today I have something to give you, some flowers. If you give me alms, I'll give you these flowers in return." The tall man smiled and gave him some money. The beggar handed him a few flowers. The tall man was pleased and said, "Wonderful. You've become a businessman, just like me." Saying this, the man got off the train at his station. But once again, his words deeply touched the beggar's heart. He kept thinking about what the man said and felt immense happiness. His eyes shone with excitement. He felt as if he had finally found the key to success, the key that could change his life forever. He jumped off the train, looked up at the sky, and shouted loudly, "I am not a beggar. I am a businessman. I can become rich too." People nearby looked at him and thought he had gone mad. From the next day onward, that beggar was never seen at the station again. 6 months later, at the same station, 2 well-dressed men in suits were traveling together. When they saw each other, one of them smiled, shook hands, and said, "Do you recognize me?" The other replied, "No, I don't think we've met before." The first man said, "No, this is actually our 3rd meeting." The other man was surprised. "3rd meeting? I don't remember. When did we meet before?" The first man smiled and said, "We met twice before, both times on this train. I'm the same beggar to whom you once told what I should do in life, and the second time, you told me who I really am." The second man smiled in astonishment. "Oh. I remember now. You're the beggar I once refused to give alms to, and later I bought flowers from. But tell me, where are you going dressed in a suit? What are you doing these days?" The first man replied, "Yes, I was that beggar. But today, I am a successful flower merchant. I'm traveling to another city for my business." After pausing for a moment, he continued, "In our first meeting, you taught me a rule of nature, that we receive only when we give. This rule of give and take truly works, I've experienced it myself. But I always saw myself as a beggar and never thought beyond that. Then, during our second meeting, you told me that I had become a businessman. That's when I realized, I wasn't a beggar anymore, but a trader. People weren't giving me alms, they were paying for the flowers I gave them. They were buying my flowers because they were affordable and beautiful. In their eyes, I was a small businessman. But in my own eyes, I was still a beggar, until you made me realize my true worth. With the money I earned from those flowers, I bought more and started a flower business. People here love flowers, and that love has made me a successful businessman today. Both men smiled and stepped off the train together, talking about their businesses as they walked away. The story teaches us an important lesson. The tall businessman understood the rule of give and take, the same rule that drives every successful person in the world. When the beggar applied this principle, his life completely changed. He changed his thinking, and that changed his life. If we change the way we think, we can achieve anything. If we always see ourselves as small, we will remain small. To become big, we must think big and believe in our own worth.